What's up guys, YDCB here with some more Summoners War action, and today we're going to be taking a look at Ragdoll. But before we do that, I have one announcement, and it's about our live stream. It's going to be this Saturday, which is tomorrow, right, on Twitch, right? And of course there will be a link in the description where, there is a countdown to it. So, if you're from a different time zone, if you're not on GMT +8, there's the countdown right there. So it's actually 7:30 in the evening Singapore time, but it may be different for you, so there's a countdown there. Okay, I'm going on and on about the countdown, right? So anyway, let's take a look at Ragdoll, right? This was like, this guy emailed in his Ragdoll to me, and I thought it had decent stats, so why not take a look at it, right? So he has like 80 plus crit rate and 186 crit damage, and he's on Violent, okay? He's on Violent, but it should be attack, crit damage, and attack. And let's take a look at the skills of Ragdoll. Right, he has a passive that increases the attack bar of all allies by 10% if an ally receives a critical hit. To be honest, I think, aside from being like a Lucian counter sort of thing, I don't really see this passive being super amazing in Arena. Can be annoying, but I don't see it being super amazing. Plus, Ragdolls are generally pretty squishy, as in they normally have sub 20k HP, right? Normally, so they're really easy to kill right off the bat. Anyway, let's take a look at the skill. But if you don't kill the Ragdoll, right, he's gonna ignore defense and shit in your face. I guess that's the drawback. Alright, so these are the standard. It's like the same as the Dragon Knight skills. Anyway, let's just take a look at what he can do. Alright, attack buff and armor break. Let's test out Dragon Smite, the default attack of this Ragdoll, which has 180 crit damage and about 1k plus attack. Let's see how much it can do to this armored unit. $18,000. That's okay ish. I mean, I think it's not bad. It's not bad, huh? Alright, we're finally at the boss. The reason I brought Theomars is because I wanted to give him the crit leader because he has like 80+% crit and Theomars is 24, so that'll put him at max. But what I'm really afraid now... Oh my god, I have to armor break with Theomars. Alright, we got the armor break off. I'm gonna do this. No! I was afraid he would sleep Ragdoll. Okay. Unfortunately, he didn't sleep Ragdoll, so we can use Torrent on the boss now. Now, Torrent ignores defense when it's below 30% HP, but I can't really afford to try that because if he dies, then I have to look for this guy, an Epic Cow, and I have to re-add him to try it out again. So we can try out the ignore defense, but we can have a good idea of what the multiplier is like, with about 180 crit damage and 1000 plus attack, right? So let's see how much does Torrent do. 26,000 damage. That's like, I mean, not a... I think that he's really nice to have. Like, it's really cool to have a Dark Dragon Knight. But other than that, I think aside from dungeons, or no, actually not dungeons. I don't know. Unless you're against like teams that, for example, a Julie team where it will crit you many times over. I don't see it being, super amazing or something like that. So that's Ragdoll for you. Thank you, Epic Cow, for loaning me his Ragdoll. Now let's be honest here, I think that Ragdoll is a bit underwhelming. I mean, his runes are pretty okay, seriously. The stats are pretty okay. It's just that, he just does, unless you get him to below 30% HP, which is like really risky. It's not like, for example, Trevor, right? As your HP goes down, you do more and more damage. But this one is a very clear cut 30%, which is really risky because you don't reduce incoming damage as you drop lower. So it's really risky. So, I mean, what I'm trying to say is it's kind of underwhelming, to be honest. I think he can use a buff because he's a fucking Dark Nat 5 and he's a Dragon Knight. Like, give him the same type of, damage like Laika. Like Laika did like 40+k with the second skill, Punishment or something like that. So I believe Ragdoll should also deserve that kind of, you know, all the other Dragonites should also deserve that kind of damage, right? I hope that happens in the near future. So anyway, that's all the time we have for, you know, for this for Ragdoll Spotlight today. We're gonna do some AMAs. So anyway, so before we do the AMAs, right, like a lot of things have been happening this week, like the new patch, and you know, like, you know, the rune changes and everything. We've talked about it last video, actually just yesterday, and well, we need to make an NB10 team now, mainly because I mean, eventually you're still gonna be farming a lot of dragons, because I mean, let's face it, Violent Revenge runes are pretty much the best type of runes you wanna have for arena defense. You know, Despair aside, like, and you know, Will or Nemesis or whatever, like Violent runes are pretty much something you will wanna have on at least, you know, 2 or 3 monsters on defense. And so you're gonna end up farming dragons a lot. Now how does this, you know, the new patch impact dragon farmers like myself? It greatly reduces the amount of mana gain, because you know, you don't have vampire runes for income anymore. And Violent runes, to be honest, they don't drop that often. Even though, you know, vampire runes was removed, you're getting a lot of focus and guard runes, and focus runes really sells for shit. Right? It really sells for shit. I mean, I noticed the difference because previously every day I was getting like 1 to 2 million mana just farming dragons. And now it's like barely 1 million-ish around there. It's about half, right? So this impacts the, you know, the flow of income that you get. But I mean, like for me personally, it's still gonna be money that will not really be spent, because the rune drops are pretty shite, right? And since the rune drops are pretty shite, you still end up having quite a lot of mana. Why am I saying the word shite? I've been watching a little bit of British, you know, shows lately, and they say the word shite instead of shit, I guess. So anyway, let's do some AMAs, right? Hi YDCB, quick question. Do you think come to us staff or GM, like Game Masters, see your videos? No shit, of course they do. Of course they do. Right, I mean, like, Summoners War, like, come to us, his channel is subscribed to mine. Like, he's subscribed to all the other YouTubers as well, but I'm pretty sure he watches. I mean, come on. Like double Verats? I mean, not only do I have double Verats, like I got Verat like right after I said he was shit. Right after I bashed him, right? I got Verat right after that. And then what? The Awakened cows? I mean, I unsummon cows and I get cows? You think he's not watching? You think that someone come to us not watching? He'd be like, hey guys, come watch, look what I did this. He'd be like telling his friends like, look, I did this. Like showing off, you know, in his fucking office, like, look, I trolled him so bad, like, you know. I'm pretty sure one of them fuckers is watching and making life, like, really shite for me. But it's okay, I still love the game. I will still continue to support you, like buying your stuff. Like, I would really like a Zyros this weekend, just in case, like, tomorrow. Just in case you're watching right now. Alright, next one. Hey YDCB, how do you check or know the multiplier of a skill? Right, I mean, have you ever heard, have you ever tried using Google? Right, using Google, type in the name of the monster. Do it right now. Do it. Just minimize this. Go to Google, type in, for example, right? I'm gonna do it with you. Alright? For example, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go to set up this thing, and we're at Google right now. Let's say, for example, let's type in Zyros. Alright? So we type in Zyros. I know you can't see the whole screen, doesn't matter. So you see the first link right there, summonerswar.wiki, right? And then you come to this page when there's Zyros. And hey, looky here. Looky here. There's the multipliers right here. I mean, sure, they don't have all the multipliers, because these multipliers are contributed by people who have tested them out. Like, you know, how do you test out a multiplier? There's instructions on that website. How to test out a multiplier. There's even a multiplier calculator or something like that on that website, right? Summoners War Wiki I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but Summoners War Wiki.com. I think so, right? Anyway, just do that. You can check the multipliers right there, okay? That's how I do. I don't test out, man. Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't test out multipliers myself, man. Fuck that. Leave that to the people who know their shit, right? I don't know the math and shit like that. I just make decisions based on the research that people have done. That's all I do. Alright, next question. Was there a definitive or defining moment when you knew you could break into the top 100, top 30, top 10? This is regarding arena. See, this was like way back before. When I was in top like 100, top 10, top 30, whatever that was the first time I was there, that was when we were still farming Giants B10 using imps. You know, there was long ago, this is an old story, it doesn't really apply now, but long ago we used to farm Giants B10 using water imps, like 3 water imps, and you manual it. You don't auto, you manually grind, man. That's how badass I am. I manually grinded runes for like 3 months. Everyone did that, right? No one was really farming dragons because you had to use a fucking fire Viking to do that. Like, people were farming dragons, but there's like a few people only that actually, you know, did it on auto and shit like that, which was really hard. And getting a Dragons V10 team back in the day was like fucking, I mean, you were like fucking Jesus. This is something like the chosen one, like Neo, like you're from the Matrix or something, right? So back then it was like I pulled a Ragdoll and I had Chloe like way early in the game. I had these two, and then I got like 2 Arnolds, like Fire Death Knights, for those of you who don't know who he is, because he's not really seen that much now, but he was the shit, man. He was the shit back then. Like double Arnolds, I had those two, and those like I had those two, and they were like stacked up on energy runes, like 6 energy runes. That's it. Top 100, easy peasy. Like it was like, I believe there were like couple other people in top 100 who had the exact same defense as me, like Ragdoll, double Arnold, Chloe. Ticket to top 100 right there. So that was when I actually broke into top 100, when I got my double Arnolds, right? Alright, next question. Because back then people were like, you could kill anything with double Arnolds, pretty much, right? Because runes weren't as advanced as they are now with the substats and shit. Now double Arnolds can't. Oh dear God, Trevor! Oh, we lost Trevor. Never mind. I think we'll still make it because I'm running with my safe team with Veramos. I don't usually go Veramos. I usually go Megan, right? And it's not as safe. It's much faster. But this is my super safe team, which doesn't really die, even with, you know, this 4 alone. Next question, right? Hey Sam, if one day God visits you, knowing you love sex and shit, he gave you a choice, having a fat, short dick or thin, long dick. No answer equals micro penis, thin and short. That's the reason why I'm answering this, because, you know, because you threaten me, and I'm easily threatened, right? Threatened. Okay, fine. I said it correctly. I think thin and long is the choice, right? You don't want fat and short. You want thin and long, and you can, you know, it can still make things work. Right? It can still work. Let's see. One more question? Yeah, last question. Have you ever been with a chubby girl? Been like a have I ever been with a chubby girl? What's that word for it? There's a chunk something, I forgot. There's a term for people like that. Chunky something. I can't remember what's the word for that. Anyway, have I ever been with a chubby girl? Chubby girl, not really. Not in a sense like a relationship kind of thing. No. Have never. Not. I mean, I don't. I have friends that are chubby and things like that. But it's personal preference. All right. Some people like Megan Taylor. Some people like, you know, all about the bass, right? But it's just personal preference. Some people like them big. Some people don't. Don't judge me. I'm not judging you, right? It's all up to personal preference. And personally, I have a template. I mean, I've said this before. I have a template, and it's like there's this invisible template in front of my eyes. Like, I just scan across the room. If nothing fits my template, then nothing will. Doesn't matter how funny, you know, she is or whatever, right? However, I've you know, I've had like sex with chunky girls before, but yeah, but you know, like I said, it's not literally like in a relationship kind of thing. It's just good old sex, right? And it's because like sometimes I'm overseas, and when you're overseas, you're just not yourself, and you just do stuff that you don't normally do because you're overseas, right? So that's my experience with a chubby girl, right? Alright, don't judge me. Please don't. It's just my preference, okay? It just is. Okay? Let's do one more one. You know what I'm gonna try? I'm trying Megan. I've been doing Megan all this time. It's not as safe. Like if you do it Veromos, I can Veromos, Veladrol, Vert, Bella, and torment it every day and it will work. I'm gonna try it with Megan. Any more questions? No, we're at the end of our AMA, but yeah. So anyway, tomorrow we're gonna be streaming. I've said that in the beginning of the video. It's just to remind you that I am on Twitch, and like I'm gonna be summoning stuff, right? I'm gonna be summoning stuff, and it will be like, you know, like the first couple of times that I stream, people donated money, and I'm gonna use that money and I'm gonna summon stuff. And if I summon stuff, then I'll kiss your ass. But if I don't, then then thanks anyway, right? I want to summon. You know what I'm hoping for tomorrow? I'm actually hoping for like a, you know, Thyros. Like but of the new and you know, the dark Neo agent. I really like that. That's really hard. That's a long shot. Huadam, yeah. You know, never forget Huadam. I always wanted him since day one, but you know, he's been going to the people that, well, I can't say it. I mean, it's not really that. It's been going to other people that I know of, and it hurts, right? To see screenshots of Huadam being summoned by people, it hurts. I mean, congrats to them, but you know what I'm saying. Oh my god, see, there you go, Megan dies. I know right now you're saying 6-star Megan. She would have died if she was 6-star. Perhaps, alright, I promise you. Like, if I don't summon anything this weekend, I will 6-star Megan, right? If I don't summon, say, any of the Nat 5s that, you know, I want, if I don't summon, you know the water, there's a water Nat 4, I don't know if it's the Birdman or the Anubis. The one of them, I think it's the Anubis, right? The Anubis, the water Anubis, he's like a fucking Rocky on steroids because he can stop revive every turn, right? So if I don't get that one, and I don't get any of the Nat 5s that I want, important that I want, that, you know, makes a difference to me right now, then I will 6-star Megan. I promise. I swear. I swear. Okay, I will. I know. Like, people are saying, just come on, you use her that often. Do it. Okay, fine. I will. I will. I will. I promise you. It's starting to rain out there. You know what's happening after this? Right after I close this video, right after we say goodbye, you know what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go on Skype with one of our Faksus. So he emailed me. He said like he saved up these scrolls over such a long time, and I'm gonna try to do a summon session with him. Don't jump out of your seats right now. Just chill. I'm gonna try to do it with him. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. I'm gonna try to screen share, and we're gonna do the summons together. And I'm gonna try to record it, you know, to see if it can work. If it works, he's like my test subject right now. Right? If it works, then we can look to doing this in the future. All right? So that's all we have for today. You know what? Let's just click this room to see what. Click this box. Shit room. Yeah. So if it works, then we can do it in the future. Anyway, that's all the time we have for today. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
The trust we had was broken, so don't tell me you can't forgive me, 'cause nobody's perfect.